Hello, Mark speaking.
Hi, I'm Joe.
Hi, Darren. My name is Joseph Beales from Refract. You've not spoken before, but can I take 35 seconds of your time to explain why I've chosen to call you today? Is that a meeting?
Yes, a meeting.
Get in.
Oh, it's actually my first day in SDR Refract.
That's great.
I think.
So I'm just going to tag that moment because that's a great way of just getting out of a little bit of trouble, okay?
Do you want to send me some information through, Drew, and I'll have a look at that?
Can I tell you a bit more about Refract?
On your recent call, you spoke for 40% of the time, right? If you look at your first call, it's 65. It's a massive drop. And then look at the level of engagement. There's 27 flips compared to 12.
Over the course of today, have you earned any commission?
Yes.
And what do you plan to use that commission for?
Sweets and Xbox games.
Joe, should we just do a quick run through here? Let's just pretend I've answered the phone and I want you to tell me what you're going to say. So, hello, Mark speaking.
Hi, I'm Joe.
So, I've got a bit of work to do this morning. I think we're ready for our first call.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Joe Beales from Refract. We've not spoken before, Fred. But can I take 35 seconds of your time to explain why I've chosen to call you today?
Yeah, of course, yeah, no worries. Okay, and this makes salespeople better.
Yes.
Would Mark be able to give me some examples, do you think, of where that's been done?
Yeah. Do you know which day would be best for you, Tuesday or Wednesday next week?
I think that probably Wednesday would be the better one. What time do you think?
10 o'clock? Is that right?
10 o'clock works well for me. Yeah, that's okay.
How do you feel?
Is that a meeting?
Yes, a meeting.
Get in.
So, should we listen back to the call?
Yeah.
And then we'll work out what you could have said. What we'll do though, let's just listen to this call a little bit because there was a point around the middle where he started asking you some questions.
It's actually my first day in SDR Refract.
That's great.
I think.
So I'm just going to tag that moment because that's a great way of just getting out of a little bit of trouble, okay? My first day. That's where you said to him, sorry, it's my first day as an SDR. What that does, that creates a little bit of empathy because he totally sympathises with you. And secondly, it gives you the credibility to suggest that you want to introduce someone else to the call. Okay?
Hello, Dan speaking.
Hi, Darren. My name is Joe Beales from Refract. You've not spoken before, but can I take 35 seconds of your time to explain why I've chosen to call you today?
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
And you can see here you went quite quiet towards the end because that's where he was doing most of the talking.
Yeah.
Okay? So therefore, that tells me you piqued his interest right at the start and then he started asking you loads of questions.
Right.
You can see there's a good level of engagement. We can see that your talking segments are decent. You speak at a really nice pace. Right? So I speak really fast. You asked him 7 questions. Now, do you know the best bit of this for me? You asked 2 questions in the first quarter, 1 in the second quarter, then 2 questions and 2 questions in the final 2 quarters.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
What?
It's a proper conversation. You are evenly distributing your questions across the call.
Hi, Kevin. It's Joe from calling from Refract today. I would like to explain why I've called you today, if that's alright with you.
That is absolutely brilliant. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Okay, tell me what you got.
Can I ask you how you currently coach your sales calls?
How are we doing our sales calls? That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry,
Do
go
you
ahead.
record for calls?
Do I record the calls? You know what? I'm thinking of doing that at some stage, but at the moment, I don't record the calls. them, but I can't sit beside them all the time because I'm quite busy.
Do you want to fix that?
You know what? I think it would be something worth listening to. Have you got a fix on that? Or can you help me out with that in some way?
Can I tell you a bit more about Refract?
Right, so let's take a look at this call. This is your most recent call
Yeah.
with a very minimal script. And we're going to compare it to your first call.
Yeah.
So, first of all, let's have a quick look at the insights. So, on your recent call, you spoke for 40% of the time, right? If you look at your first call, it's 65. It's a massive drop. And then look at the level of engagement. There's 27 flips compared to 12. Your speed and pace has stayed at a really nice rate. I'm going to stop it there because I think you've done really well, but there's one thing that you said. You asked him to call me. What I want you to do in the next call is that I'm going to call them.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Hi Gareth, it's Joe calling from Refract today. I was wondering if I could have 35 seconds off your time to explain why I've called you today.
Fire away, Joe. 35 seconds to start it.
I noticed your profile on LinkedIn, and I was wondering if our website would help sales leaders like you, gain critical insight on your sales conversations. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I think, do you want to send me some information through, Joe, and I'll have a look at that?
Can I tell you a bit more about Refract?
I'm pretty busy at the minute, Joe, if you're quick, I suppose.
Okay, so we use something called AI and machine learning to analyse your sales conversations, and it tells you which reps are really good and which reps could still do maybe a bit better.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I think most of our reps are performing pretty well though at the minute.
Could I ask you how you coach your sales conversations?
Yeah, so we would be doing a lot of stuff and provide sort of feedback in the moment about how they've done.
Okay, could you do you think you could have maybe maybe my colleague Mark could call you maybe next week?
Next week is pretty packed. Would you be able to send me an email, Joe, just with a little bit of information there about a little bit more detail on Refract, and then give me a call back and I'll let you know whether it's something I think we could go for.
The call would only be 10 minutes of your time.
Okay. All right then. Let's go for this day next week about the same sort of time. I should be able to talk.
So this day around 3:30.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you for now and bye.
No worries. Cheers, Joe. Bye.
Bye.
Right, well done. Booked a meeting without a script.
So, Joe, how have you found today?
I found it fun and fascinating, and I think it's inspired me to do sales coaching when I'm older.
What have you learnt today? What are some of the things that you've learnt?
I've learnt how to cold call and what you do maybe when you're in a tricky situation in a cold call, or what you do to get maybe a meeting in a cold call.
Mm-hmm. The software was helpful, but what about Mark, who was there with you alongside you? What did he do that was particularly helpful?
With the things that wasn't on Refract, he helped me with.
Mm-hmm.
He helped me remember the words and what I needed to say, and he was very helpful throughout the calls.
What advice would you give to somebody who is working in sales at the moment and maybe in a similar situation to you? Maybe they're just starting out. Would you give them any advice?
Try hard and never give up.